You've come, my child, to this land of Danguk. In the beginning of our 5,000 years history, our people were loved by a god. So loved, he swindled his father to descend as their king. He wished to live with the mortals he adored, and they, in turn, loved him. Or perhaps it was what he offered that they loved. Tend to my sandalwood tree, for it shall provide you succor and shade. Pass on my wisdom, and you will be as gods themselves. But those that couldn't ascend found no solace in death, for their souls would be born anew to again defy suffering until their virtue proved them worthy for that realm above the 9 heavens. Even as I guide the departed, it's hard to blame the ones that found this just a little cruel. But that's why the Black Bear clan exists. We are an organization, a family of exorcists, for whom fate and the gods had higher plans. Though you never chose this life, my child, you must soothe the malice brewing in the shadows of these lands. For you are Mudang, and you must mend the heartache. With your words, magic, song, and dance, you must guide the dead and the living to shepherd the would-be gods of Danguk until they may know true peace, even as few understand your path. A heavy burden, I know, but remember this: I am with you, my child, and you are never alone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Undying Corruption. This is a 5th edition D&D Korean anthology adventure brought to you by 9 Heavens Press. Thank you so much for being here. It really means the world to me. I am so excited to finally be able to play Korean adventures in this world, and I am so very excited to introduce you to it. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the game, but first, what I would like to do is to tell you who is everybody that is here on the screen here with me. Please tell me about who you are, where we can find you, and tell me a little bit about who you're playing. And we will start off with Danny.
Well, hello, I'm Danny. You can find me on the internet at Bitterthorn, pretty much any platform. And, mostly these days I'm doing a Fern cosplay from Critical Role and dabbling in other things. Playing games with friends. The character I'm playing today is Hannah. She is, a little friend who has a little ghost friend, and we'll see how they interact and everybody has fun together. That's it. That's all I got.
Awesome. Thank you. All of these lovely players have made super awesome characters, and I'm so excited for you to meet all of them. Next, we have Carrie.
Hello, I'm Miscellanea. You can call me Ms. or Carrie. I'm Miscellanea everywhere on the internet, Twitter, Instagram, all those places. I am playing, my pronouns are she, they. I am playing Kato, who is a Sangun Emissary of Paradise Ranger, which is one of the new subclasses you can get in this anthology. Her pronouns are she, her.
Awesome. Thank you. Next, we have Kimchi.
Hi, I'm Legal Kimchi. I go by Kimchi. I do video essays on TTRPGs and related topics like bioessentialism or representation in gaming. So you can check that out on my YouTube channel. And I am playing Sebong, who is a retired librarian who decided in his later years to become an adventurer. and is now a Order of the Mystics Paladin, which is another subclass that is specific to the Undying Corruption book there. So very excited to test this out.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have Connie.
Hey everyone, I'm Connie. My pronouns are they, he, and she. I am all across the internet at by Connie Chang. That's BYCONNIECHANG. But I'm not here being a guest on the incredible Stella Luna's channel. I am the game master and creative producer for Transplanar RPG, which is an all-transgender, POC-led dark fantasy D&D show set in an original non-colonial anti-Orientalist world. So if you like that sort of thing, if you like intense queer drama meets the literal end of the world, you should tune in Saturdays at 8 p.m. US Eastern Time on twitch.tv/Transplanar RPG, which is when our main campaign, The Second Stranger, streams. I'm also all over Twitter at by Connie Chang. And today, or rather tonight, I'm going to be playing Yong Chiljer, who is a Dokebi necro wizard, who wasn't always a Dokebi. They were a elf once upon a time, and now they are forever traumatized and a kind of demon goblin creature. Are they queer? Do they have a lot of emotional issues? Are they strangely hot for a monster? Why, yes. The answer is yes to all these things. And I'm excited for all of you to meet them. I'm going to pass things up and over to, I think it's Aki, right?
Yes, Aki. Oh, you're muted.
Fuck! There, that's how I'll start it. Yay, I'm last. I'm usually never last. But hi, I'm Aki. You can find me all over the Twitterverse at AkiNomi_art, where I do far too many things because I found out recently I just can't say no. Speaking of being unable to say no, I'm here today playing Nari, a Dokebi Jisung Saja warlock. I am here to be hot.
Yes, you
Yeah.
are. Heck yeah. Let's go. I'm going to introduce you to Undying Corruption. You can use !Undying at any point to get more information about this game. They just launched their Kickstarter today, and as far as I'm aware, they've already hit 40% of their funding. Congratulations. Very, very awesome. Very exciting. They have a bunch of beautiful art. They've got subclasses, backgrounds. They've got races. There is a lot of content here in this book already that we've been able to preview, and we are very excited to show you what we're able to. We are going to be starting off with Chapter 1 of Arc 1, Metal, the Forbidden Harvest, Wraith of the Wetlands. So we open up our scene to a long shot, distant as we gaze over the sloping hills of a country hillside. The sun is setting. The sky is turning an ugly shade of gray and apricot as the heavens are beginning to darken all around you. You are currently on your way to Unsan, a small town in the Hangguan wetlands. You are here as one of the members of the Black Bear clan. You are a Mudang. You are in charge of helping guide spirits, whether it is to help those who live in this world to find closure with the passing of their loved ones, or sometimes even to chase away unlucky spirits that might bring about misfortune to people who are unfortunately across their path. I love how our Tokebi, one of the Tokebis in our party, just to start giggling. Yes, Tokebi sometimes are responsible for such mischief. But as we're looking over the party here, they're making their way through the marshlands. We see that there are wide patties of murky water from which these clusters of rice are growing. And as the darkness begins to descend over you, we see at the front of the party one of the donkey? Do we see the donkey? Is it
With no. You see the Sanjun and with the donkey.
Yes. What does Kato look like?
Kato is about 6.5 feet tall, ruddy orange with black stripes like a standard tiger, bipedal. They're wearing long wide-legged dark blue linen pants and their feet as they walk are digging into the mud, and they're not wearing shoes. Confusing my characters and my pronouns, it's fine. For a top, she wears a leather breastplate over a nondescript shirt. And as they walk, their joints roll like a tiger would walk. And she is, while walking at a good pace, she's talking to and like snacking with the donkey because she's friends with the animals. She loves them. She's got a long bow on her back, and a sickle and a dagger on her belt. She seems content to just walk quietly with this ass.
Yes. This wide-hipped ass is slowly trudging along. The wide feet of this creature allow it to navigate between these patties with great ease. You would have not been able to get a horse through here, not gracefully. And this particular creature is on the side of the older side. You can definitely tell that it's seen many years and that it's not the most efficient creature of burden, but it does have a pretty tempered disposition, and it has served as a very good mount for Nari. Can you tell me what Nari looks like?
This time I remembered to unmute. Yes. So Nari is specifically a pardon my pronunciation, a gaxi dokebi, or like a maiden dokebi. So like she's hot on hot. With this long black hair in a low side bun with lilies kind of just decorating like almost like a little crescent arch going upward, and she's got these beautiful elaborate hair ornaments just kind of, they're precisely put in a way that it doesn't hold up the hair, but it looks very stunning. And she's in this pink and orange hanbok with a jade norige.
Mm-hmm.
Norige, yes, hanging off on her sash on the side. She also has like a rather exquisite nails, just that, totally not showing off my own. And they're like long and sharp and almost like a stiletto point. And she just looks like money, and she smells like probably also money and lilies. And that is like the vibe as she's just sitting on this donkey, a donkey named Shrek.
Oh my god. Donkey is named Shrek. Perfect. And who's next in line behind Kato and Nari?
Ooh, I think maybe Hana would be. So Hana is a 5'4" human youth with a very, very long black braid of hair that reaches down to like her low back. And she's kind of has like it slung across her shoulder right now. She's like playing with the braid, like combing out the ends, and making sure it's like all shiny, and just trying to keep that hair in check. Yeah, she's just following along, keeping a little eye out and looking a little antsy. And every once in a while you see this kind of like almost vaporous, like translucent wisps that kind of look like similar in shape humanoid, kind of popping in and out, weaving amongst like the plants of rice, sometimes coming alongside Hana and like walking alongside. And yeah, that's what you see.
I love it. And then behind Hana is...
I suppose it is going to be Teal'ger. So Teal'ger carries themselves with hunched shoulders. They look like a hollow shadow with teeth. You think perhaps they were once beautiful. And in fact, you see a shadow of that beauty, like a bug suspended in amber, in the top half of their face, which was once gorgeous. Angular cheekbones, eyebrows like black knives, even long black hair schooled into a long draping ponytail that snakes past the spikes jutting out of their spine. But the bottom half of their face and the entire rest of their body is pure bone. Uninterrupted, white, porous marrow, like hollowed out, dried out coral at the bottom of a dehydrated ocean. This bone on their face just exposes these sharp, rending teeth that they keep covering with their hand as they walk, like they're ashamed of how much they can rip. And their eyes, well, they must have had irises once. They must have had gelatinous eyeballs once, but now it's just pure black caverns with these two pinpricks of red light floating inside them, like someone's shining a light from out of the inside of a dark cavern. And the rest of their body is kind of draped over with all these robes, like they're trying to hide their body, and they have a hood, I think, drawn over their head, but there are these like rough holes that have been cut with this kind of meticulous dedication down their back to allow their spines to come out. Like these sharp porcupine-like quills that just shoot out like these bone spurs. And they sort of drape their claws. You realize they're claws now, kind of close to their body, and walk with a kind of elongated, jolting marionette-like walk, like a kangaroo that's just come out of its pouch. And they have this long whip-like tail as well that ends in a spade, and it's also made of bone. And they keep looking left and right and flinching whenever the ass sort of swipes its tail. Even though they look like they could rip this like donkey to shreds very easily, they seem scared of it. And that's Teodor.
And Teodor, you can definitely get the sense that occasionally the donkey looks over its shoulder at you and its ear keeps quirking in your direction as we've been walking. I think that just sort of fuels the discontentment here.
And Teodor just keeps muttering under their breath, "Don't kick me, don't kick me, don't kick me," and like
goes,
averting their gaze.
Hee-yaw! Which, Kate and Kato, can you understand beasts?
No.
Okay.
I did not.
No.
I mean, it'd be a spell that I would have to cast.
So what
Which
the
I
donkey
guess-
says passes into mystery in the annals of time.
I can speak to flowers.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it.
Do the lilies in my hair scream?
They're dead.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
Well,
Silent
that's
dying.
quite fitting for the theme of our game. But in last of our procession is Sebong.
So Sepong is struggling to keep up with the rest of the group, but still smiling throughout. He is an older gentleman who's wearing armor from a that was old when he was young, and is about a half, maybe a full size too large. It jingles a little bit more than it probably should. He's got this rough set of spectacles that are hanging from his face, and he's trying his best not to drag the shield behind him with a sword at his hip. And it's kind of faded cloth, this sort of brigantine style armor with the metal plates under this what used to be an illustrious red cloth, maybe many washers ago, many years ago, but now seems almost like a faded pink at this point. And he's just kind of he's dragging his feet a little bit, and it's like his muscles aren't wanting to do what his brain is telling it to do. But all the while, he's got this just goofy little smirk on his face, like he would never want to be anywhere else in the world. And he has this large book that is just strapped like a belt hanging on his right hip. And his sword hand, when he thinks nobody's looking, will always just kind of run his fingers through as if he's just stroking it. And then his smile just gets a little bit bigger every time. And he's just like, all right. Is all right. Much better than being cooped up in a desk all day and out in the world doing good.
You can hear the crickets around you beginning to sing their songs as the darkness continues to descend over you. By the time you reach the humble gates of Unsan, you can see that this town, it is a mining town. You see that there are a number of carts that have stone in large heaps that are being wheeled in and out of the town itself. The town is beginning to fall quiet. You can see that people are closing up shops and going to their homes. You see fires being stoked and these pillars of smoke rising from amidst these dwellings. And you know that you are to make your way over to the Lord Wan's house. And you have been given a very specific instruction. It is now several minutes before midnight, the time Lord Wan specified in his request. You stand before the doors of his bedchamber in his hanok, having been guided there by a dwarven handmaid who keeps quiet to herself as she slides the door open. Candles and burning light, incense all around in this cozy room illuminate the sight of the manor's lady lying on a mattress on the floor. She is sweating, perspiring, and enervated. You can see that she seems to be in a sort of quiet panic now, as she is restrained here. Standing next to her is her husband, and he is gently stroking her hand. You see a man who appears to be quite proud. He's dressed in regalia, the very fine silks that mark him as one of the Yanban, the upper echelon of people who live here in Danguk. And you can see that he looks concerned but reserved. He stands a little straighter upon your entrance, expecting you. And he gives a nod to the dwarven handmaid. She silently slips out as the group of you, your shoes off, by the way, enter into the bedchamber. She returns with a bronze basin and slides down to her mistress's side. You see that the handmaid begins to dab her forehead with a wet towel, and the lord pulls away from his wife and folds his hands behind his back. You're punctual. Good. Now listen, you lot. I don't know anything about this archaic Mudang business, but nothing else seems to have worked in curing my wife. There'll be no fuzzy business. Is that clear?
Nah.
There's a moment where you see he lifts up one of his hands and he begins to bite the sides of his fingertips as he looks nervously back down at his wife. She had high hopes for all of you, so I beg you, please, save her.
Hannah's gonna raise her hand.
Yes, what is it?
I'm sorry, I'm new to this. How are we supposed to save her again?
She's been possessed by some sort of demonic spirit.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what are the steps? I was supposed to take notes, but I might have lost them somewhere. Does anyone have those? Anyone else?
This is where I step in gracefully, but I know to keep my head down as my status sort of dictates that I do. And I simply go, my gentle lord, please forgive our young, eager workers. I am here as their mentor. I will address their mishaps.
Well, I'm pleased that there's at least someone here of some measure of adequacy.
Yes, it would do us a great favor if you were to tell us a little bit more about yes, we are aware what ails your wife is a possession, but perhaps the time, a setting, a day, things that she does that are not of her own.
Yes.
If I need to roll persuasion, by the way, I have advantage as a Kisek.
Yeah,
Against nobles.
Go ahead and roll at advantage, please. You see that he seems a bit anxious here. I'll give this to you for free. As you're kind of like assessing him and trying to figure out how to speak to him, you can see that the way that you're addressing him is absolutely more in line with what he expects. And because of that, he is reacting in a very predictable way. What did you roll?
That's with advantage. That's 19.
19, very good. You see that he lets his shoulders slump a little. There's a bit of that edge that softens, and his hands begin to ring. He begins to pull at his fingernails again. Every night at midnight, something comes over my wife, and she is compelled to strangle me. We have managed to find some control over the situation. I understand it's not her. It is not her. He looks down at his wife, and his wife is looking up. And you can see that she has agency here. She nods along. She understands you. She sees you, and she says, yes. I don't think I have much time. It is almost midnight here. You see Lord Juan takes another step away and gestures for you to all approach.
While that conversation is happening, can Kato approach the maiden who's helping with the things? And
Yeah.
Kato put a hand on the helper's, the servant's shoulder, and Druid craft a chrysanthemum flower and put it behind his wife's ear and says, don't worry, we will help you.
You see that the handmaiden bows deeply. She doesn't say anything. You see that her eyes are following your every movement. Every time that each one of you speaks, she is watching, she is listening, but she does not respond. She gives you a small, gentle nod at your gesture here. And you see the wife's face soften. There is a measure of pain and anxiety in her features, and this kind gesture does seem to give her some comfort.
If I may be so bold. And Teal just sort of shuffles forward, sort of hiding their face under the lantern light, but their pinprick eyes are sort of fixed on the ailing wife. I know of a little bit of magic that might be able to pierce deeper into your mind. It shouldn't hurt if you don't resist. And they look nervously at the Lord, almost for permission.
You see that the Lord stiffens. He almost seems to bristle in place. He is staring at you, leaning back. He doesn't seem to realize he's doing this consciously. And as you address him, his eyes immediately go to Nari.
Trust in the process, my lord. And I'm giving my teammate the go ahead, essentially. And just this, I wanna like emphasize this perfect pristine posture that I'm giving. It's night, but goddamn if I am not a goddamn lantern, okay, in this dreary room, okay? That's the vibe.
This room is surrounded by a suspicious amount of candles. It is very, very lit. You see that there's little room for shadow here. I think basically the only shadow is where Sealger is standing and like kind of hunkering down. Even more ominous as you're highlighted by this candlelight. And Nari, you glow exceptionally. You are a sun among stars in here. And there seems to be some comfort as the Lord looks over to you, purposefully away from Sealger, and says, Do what you must. Anything to save my wife.
Goodies,
Silver-
my favorite part.
I know this is absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
The Lord leans away a little
Do the
more.
thing, Silver. Do the thing.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't say that. It adds a lot of pressure on my shoulders.
Oh,
But
Otto backs
Do the
away.
thing with pressure.
Pressure makes diamonds. You're doing great.
I'm made of bone. I might just crumble into ash. And they reach out their like long knife-like fingers and they gently touch the wife. And I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts and try to just probe deeper and try to see if like she can recall what it's like to be possessed. I'm trying to like see. I know this isn't exactly how the spell works, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
trying
fine.
to see through her eyes.
Rule of cool.
Like see what she's experiencing. Like
Can I
as the
aid?
midnight hour comes.
Yeah, so how would you aid, like, narratively? Describe it to me.
Narratively, for aiding wise, I am a soothing presence, as well as just a general presence. You know, the vibe is good when I'm in the room, and so with my general advantage towards persuading or deceiving nobles, I would simply like to persuade the wife, who is a noble in this setting, much more noble than I, to trust in the process and allow the magic to flow through you. It is not here to harm you. We just need to understand the best way to help you.
As the lady's eyes look at you, Sildra, you can see it's almost as if someone beholding a nightmare. You are probably quite familiar with this look, a look of haunting, of fear, but her eyes snap over to Nari at her words, and she doesn't look away. She stares you deep in the eyes, Nari, as Sildra reaches forward and casts this spell, almost as if purposefully trying to not look in your way. What sort of sensation would someone feel as they experience this spell?
If they don't resist, then Sildra, I think, is right. It doesn't hurt. But it is uncomfortable. Like your body has been numbed to pain, but you know a knife is going in. Sort of like a sharp spear piercing the surface of, I think, a taut lake. A lake that hasn't been touched by anything in years. And then, like, ripples ring out as soon as that, like, mind spike goes in. And as that probe goes deeper and deeper in, I think Sildra's, like, the red lights flicker, like they're going out, like a flame being blown on at the top of a candle, as they try to see through this noble woman's eyes.
You see, Nari, you see in your closeness with the lady that she takes in a breath just as the moment as this spell takes hold. And Sildra, you see a marshland. It is dark. It is the remote wilderness. And you can hear water splashing frantically. Something fighting. Gasps. Struggling. And then all of a sudden you're pulled back out. And all at once, as Sildra, I imagine there's like a physical reaction as you're being pulled out of this. Just as that happens, all of you at the same time feel reverberations in the air. You all possess a heightened spiritual sense, and it picks up on the feel of the atmosphere as a force surrounded by dark gravity begins to sweep in through the walls and ceilings of the bedchamber. Nari, you notice that the lady has turned clammy and pale. She is breathing erratically. She stares blankly. Soft, quick breaths. The Lord breaks the tension, says, "Dear, are..." And then you hear the lady croaking, her voice breaking on the words. "Breathe. I can't breathe." Her breathing becomes labored, and all of a sudden just her body begins to spasm violently as beads of sweat begin to pour down her forehead. She suddenly stops. She calmly turns her head towards her husband and opens her mouth to speak, but all you hear is
One song true.
Scared the fuck out of me.
Can Kato leap into the space between the wife and husband and Lord Juan?
Yeah, what does this look like?
So Kato was next to the bed on the opposite side of the bed as Lord Juan, and she had stepped away to allow Shieldger to go and cast the spell. So once the shaking happens, Kato just takes a step to the side and leaps over the bed and spins around to face the wife, because we know that she's gonna shake it.
Yeah, like, you see that she immediately pulls against her restraints and everything strains. You have all but a moment to react before they break loose. So, Kato, you get physically in the way, and you see the Lord withdraw, kind of whimpering as they sink back against a distant wall.
So Sebong, as quickly as he can, will put himself in sort of a bodyguard position next to Lord Juan.
Okay.
He's got the protector fighting style, so he's got his shield out. He hasn't pulled his sword out or anything. He's just got the shield up.
I think Shieldger reels backward as soon as they were, like, ejected from this woman's consciousness. And as they do, they, like, flinch their arm back like they've been burned. And as they draw their hand back, I think magic ripples around them as this kind of, like, these shadowy kind of mist begins to leach out of their mouth, like columns of fog, as they cast false life over themselves to gain some temporary hit points, because they have a feeling just about to pop off. But as they do, they say in a rattling breath, like, not dissimilar to the woman's breath right before this other voice took hold of her throat. Struggling marshland entities wrestling. There's some sort of dark and terrible fight happening inside her. I don't know how much longer she can hold on for.
I think as soon as you finish saying that, Hana's gonna just go, "Oh, all right, cool. Restraints," and is gonna, like, kind of look over to the side where there's nobody standing, but then all of a sudden you see this flicker and this, like, white figure appears next to her, and she goes, "Commandery," and then they're both gonna try to, like, run and try to, like, I don't know, keep the lady from hurting anyone. So grapple, I guess.
Okay. Yeah,
Go
you
for the
can
arms.
you can definitely, like, go to physically restrain the lady if you want. You also see that you could probably use the restraints that are already in place and strengthen them if that's a direction that you want to go.
Ooh, I think we're just gonna go for the arms, and both of us are gonna try to hold them down.
Hell yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna give this to you because you see that her eyes are pointed directly at the Lord. She doesn't even see you launching yourself at her, and you wrap your arms around her. You can tell just from her physical shape and her size that she is not a substantial person. She is limber and she is on the thin side, and she almost feels like bones in your arms, but there is an unnatural strength to her. As soon as you wrap your arms around her, she begins to fight against you, and it is terrifying. Whatever is possessing her has immense strength, and it is akin to some of the largest beasts and creatures that you've ever fought in your experience. So you
Yeah, I
find
think-
yourself thrashing with them.
Yeah, as we're like putting our full weight down on, like, both of the arms, we're like, we might need a little help here. This is a lot of woo. I don't know if I got this.
I would simply look, keeping this beautiful, lovely smile pasted on my face. I will look to the Lord and go, "I believe you should run." And as I say that, I would like to, just gonna grab the name of it. I would like to don my regalia of the Death God, and basically I'm putting on my uniform, my Jisung Sanjay uniform, as the I have described Nari being like a lantern in the room. Imagine just the light snuffing out, and that warmth is gone immediately, like the cold bite of winter that is Canada coming up. And and you see these shadows kind of form up around Nari's body. And so she's wearing a hanbok, and a hanbok is like the silhouette of one, kind of gives you this beautiful little round cake shape, as it's like a long sleeve top and an even wider bottom. And what happens here is that the long sleeve top is like taken off very gently by the shadows, like a very wonderful Cinderella moment, as the rest of it drapes down, and you see absolutely jacked, ripped arms, and freaking Nari's just like cracking her neck like this and goes, "Okay. Remember, we're not here to maim the body, but some broken bones may be required." And we're just keeping that lovely smile as the face is starting to crack just a little bit like a mirror, like that nice little demonic side is starting to show.
Oh my god. Am I falling
Yes.
in love?
What?
Did I mention I was an artist and I'm working on a Nari portrait right now? Because I really want to make her jacked.
Oh my gosh. Can I get everyone to roll me some initiative, please?
Oh, wow. Whoa. Oh my.
I'm gonna fudge it. Yeah. Let's just.
Okay. All right, Kimchi, what did you roll?
15.
Okay. Wow. Yo, I'm psychic. I said 15 in my head for some reason, and then you said it out loud. That's wild. Danny.
18.
18. Oh my gosh. Okay. Connie.
17.
Oh my gosh. Carrie.
16.
What? Nari.
Of course.
19.
What the?
I said I was gonna fudge it. I was gonna make it lower, but then I typed what I got, and I was like, "Shit, wait a minute." So I
Oh,
just
of
did
course.
the opposite of what I was meaning to do.
Of course, the old man goes last.
Oh. It's pretty quick though.
That's funny. Okay, dang. And then the lady rolled 17. Wow. Everything's very high initiative here. Okay, Nari, you are first. You see that the lady seems to move erratically. All of a sudden, she begins to try to fight against Hana's grip. And she won't break free or anything until it's your turn to try to... But you find that you have a moment to react here as you're at the top of the initiative. There's something feral about her. You see that this possession, it almost seems to morph her features. Her teeth almost seem more elongated. There's water just dripping from her hair, from her brow. What do you want to do?
Okay. This. Now here's the issue. I'm a magic caster. Yes, I built to be a DLA magic caster. However, that means I'm gonna be doing so much damage. And I don't want to do that to a seemingly like 2 hit point NPC woman. So I think what I will do is do I have enough time for like a full turn, or is it just reaction? Is it a full turn?
It's a full turn.
Okay. Then what I will do is I'm going to use one of my 2 spell slots to cast Hunter's Mark, which is a I'm able to do that as a part of my extended spell list. And I'm casting Hunter's Mark Though, like rule of cool, I would like to cast it on the spirit possessing her and not her body, rather.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you would see that it will manifest on her throat. What does it look like?
It is. I'm gonna double check this, so I have it. If it's even there, actually, I'm not sure if it's there. It will be like a flower, a very like a lily, really. The head of a lily just kind of imprinted on her throat. You said it is where the mark would show up. It does. It's not like a burn or anything like that. It's simply it looks like an indent, like when when you're sitting down and you put your elbows on your thighs for a while and then you just got a weird little circular indent there. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So it's not there to hurt her or damage the body, but it is there so that way she will not escape me. She will not escape my judgment. And that's a bonus action. I would like to use the rest of my action, I guess you could say, to summon my packed blade, which is actually a staff because that is Princess Bari's favored weapon. And you see Nari just kind of put her hands very gently together, like she's almost like about to give a prayer, and then just pulls it from her, like from the inside of her palms, this long, beautiful, elegant staff. And she like goes to like the full width of her arm span before grabbing it down the middle and is just ready for basically to just bonk, bonk, bonk.
Yeah.
as gently as possible.
I think you would notice as you are doing all of this, you're in a position and angled in a way that you can see the handmaiden, and you see that she has already procured what appears to be some kind of flask or potion bottle. It's almost as if she's prepared for this, and you remember that they have been experiencing this every night, essentially, for some period of time. She seems ready. Okay, cool. So you are kind of on the close side. Did you want to move away from the lady?
No, I'm okay with being right up and front in there. The beauty of having my my uniform on is that I gain quite a few benefits, including a really nice, super sexy boost in my AC. So my AC right now is like an 18.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, like hit me if you'd like. You know, it is a suggestion. I guess. Oh, and free action. Me spouting off what they're supposed to do, because technically I'm here as the mentor, and I want to give my newbies, you know, the real spotlight in doing all this. And also, I had like 6 different reveals. I'm happy. I came here when I did to do what I wanted to do.
I love it. Awesome. Next in the order is Hana.
Okay, I think Hana is just gonna keep trying to hold the arms down, and is gonna say, I'd like to do like a check on what did it say with the words, the strange words that came out of its mouth. What were they?
They were Wang Songju, which is the name of the Lord.
Okay. So I would like to probably see if I could do like a religion or history check to see if there is some kind of like type of ghost that gets really mad at their husbands or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll say go ahead and roll me history or nature.
Okay,
Your
let's
choice.
see here. Oh boy. Okay, that's just a +1. That's a 12.
12. Okay, even with a 12, you are very certain this is a possession of some kind of spirit. So the wife is not like a demon or anything like that. You get the sense that if an exorcism is performed here, that it would probably be the easiest way to deal with the possession. You would know that physically tiring out the vessel helps make exorcisms easier, but you have all received training on performing exorcism as Mudang. So that is something that you could just do if you want. The Mudang, just to like give a little information here, you have possession resistance as a part of your training, and you also have anti-possession techniques where you can essentially force out a possessing spirit. I will say that this uses up your action, however, so you won't be able to do it on this turn, but you can confirm it's a ghost and confirm it's a possession.
Yeah, I'll just go, oh, textbook possession. We got this. I didn't bring my notes, though. And keep holding her down. Yeah.
You do know that there are different kinds of spirits. So from your 12, unfortunately, you're not able to tell just intuitively what this could be, but definitely on the right track. Okay. So I would like on your turn. Oh, wait, the lady's next. Perfect. Okay. The lady is going to try to break free from you. So we're going to have contesting checks here as it tries to break from your grapple. You can roll me athletics or acrobatics, whichever you prefer.
Ooh, I've got great acrobatics. 19? 19?
Yes, sorry, that was a typo, y'all. Yeah. You beat her 11. So you for a moment she like shrugs you off, and you're absolutely able to tell that she is not herself. The supernatural power that possesses her is fortifying her. You get the sense, and Nari, you looking at her, get the sense that if y'all started like attacking her, she will be fine, like herself, but because this sort of unnatural fortitude has possessed her as well. And then your arms wrap right back around her, and she is more or less positioned right where she is. She can't move. Yeah. Okay. My bad. What was it again? It was 17 or something? Okay, next. Just for chat, I accidentally changed the ladies' initiative to 34. My bad.
It was 17. Yeah.
Yeah, 17. Okay, next we have Sealger.
Okay, so this isn't an action per se, but I do have a feature, spirit sensitivity, given my Mudang background. I can always, it says, I can tell any sort of celestials, fiends, or undead have to succeed on a stealth check against my passive perception if they step within 60 feet of you. And it's pretty obvious there is one within 60 feet of us. Could I use this feature in some way to discern the specifics, or would that require an action?
I will say it will require an action.
Okay.
It would be a nature or a history check.
Then in that case, I'm gonna do something else.
Okay.
Teal'ger, standing toward the back, sort of murmurs under their breath, but in a way that you can hear Hana. Hana, I'm sorry about this. You can take a couple of hits, right?
You whisper that, and Hannah kind of like eyes get a little wide as she's sitting there like trying to hold it down, and goes like looks back at you like, sure. A nervous chuckle.
Wonderful. Then in that case, as an bonus action, Teal'ger raises their hands, these sharp, rippling, bone-like fingers, and we see like their eyes go dark, like a hand covering the sun, and then they flare up with these like bright pinpricks as they cast Mind Thrust. So the lady is gonna have to make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh God. Okay.
The DC to beat will be. Oh, is 14.
Okay.
The DC to beat is 14.
She rolls
Do
a
I
13.
need to make this save too?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. This is just if she like thrashes or anything. But I think you're actually gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So on a failed save, they take 3d6 psychic damage.
Oh.
So that's gonna be 5, 2, 7, 1, 8. 8 psychic damage, and they can't take a reaction until the end of their next turn. Also, on their next turn, they have to choose whether they move, get an action, or a bonus action, and it only gets one of the 3.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
This is powerful.
Like a one round
So-
slow.
That is, yeah, exactly. That is my bonus action. As my action, I'm going to cast a cantrip. Because they've taken damage, I'm actually going to cast Toll the Dead. So they are going to extend their fingers and then, like, clench them into fists as we just hear the sound. It says the sound of a bell, but I think that's kind of silly. So we just sort of hear their spines rustling, almost like leaves in the wind, like bristling down their back and sort of getting stiff and a little bit thicker as this like rustling fills her ears, like, and like seems to cause like actual physical pain for her as that mist continues to gush out of their jaws, travel across, I think, the room, pass through Hana harmlessly, but then like wrap itself like around her, like almost like the sound coming from a wind turbine all around her. So they have to make a whiz save.
Okay, they rolled a 4.
Nice. Okay, so that's going to be 1d12 because they've taken damage. I thought I was going to ice knife you, but I decided not to, and that would have caused AoE. That is a 9, so 9 points of necrotic.
Okay, very cool. So as this happens, as the lady's like flailing around in Hana's grip, you see that her legs are kicking over some of the candles. The very, very many candles that are in this room, they spill over, the wax goes flying, and you see that some things are slowly starting to catch fire here. As this spell takes place, you hear a as she is thrashing around, reeling in pain. You see that her mouth is contorted in these strange shapes as she is crumpling beneath the weight of this magic here. And it seems to be doing some pretty good work. Did you want to move closer or anything?
I will move farther away. I'm actually gonna move next to the Lord and sort of glance at him and see, like, is he reacting in, like, fear or anything like that?
Yeah, he's absolutely terrified. Sure. You can see that he looks heartbroken, looking out at his wife. And he's, like, hiding behind the wall of Kato and Sebong.
That's my turn.
All right, Kato.
Kato's eyes are wide, even though normally they're very stoic and not reactionary at all. But she sees Hannah struggling with this lady. So, and seeing Sebong there, she will rush to the bed and grab the lady's legs and yell between the maiden and Lord Juan, "What do you normally do?"
My guards try to defend me, and I try to run. More or less kind of what's going on here.
And will that potion help? Looking at the maiden, and then
the maid, her eyes are wide with fear, and she says, "It's to keep the lady from dying, if required."
do I still have an action?
Yeah.
I will actually use a bonus action to Hunter's Mark the Spirit.
Okay. So you can already see that kind of glowing, like pinkish glow of the chrysanthemum or the lily on her throat from Nari. And if you are targeting the spirit, you see that whatever you cast manifests on her throat as well. What does it look like?
For Kato, the Hunter's Mark just looks like roots coming out and manifesting.
Yeah, you see these roots kind of like, they actually like start at the throat, and you can see they go down, but they disappear beneath the folds of her robe. So you can't see, but it does seem to continue.
Okay. That's my turn.
Awesome. Sebong, it is your turn.
All right, so Sebong is going to kind of do a similar thing to Nadi with the whole cracking of the back, and then gets a little too stiff when one of the pops happens. Kind of his hand drifts down, his right hand drifts down to the book again as he starts kind of rubbing the cover, and he holds his shield up and moves closer to the woman, to the lady. He goes, "Rejoice, spirit. Children will love to hear the tale of when you faced off with Dang Se And he's going to initiate an anti-possession exorcism
Okay, I love it. All right. So to use your anti-possession technique, I will need either a nature or religion check from you, and the difficulty will be 10 plus the CR of the possessing spirit, and the CR of this spirit for our one shot is 2.
Okay.
So you have to beat a 12.
Natural 20. I'm gonna get a 5 on top of that. So
Oh my god. Okay.
Go!
Delicious.
All right.
Oh.
That was so
Camera confirmation.
unnecessary, but hell yeah, the flex. Okay. Wait, I need. Time seems to slow down as Sebong, you perform your technique. You have total creative liberty here to tell me what this looks like as you sever, displace whatever you like, the spirit from inside the lady.
So he's kind of standing with like a hand out, his shield back, as it's almost like he's trying to grab by the scruff of the ectoplasmic neck this spirit inside of this woman. And you sort of see a wave as the vision of reality morphs around as the spirit just starts yanking, almost like her features that are elongating because of refraction of light, and kind of the swirling purple pinkish energy like this coming out as he's struggling and struggling and struggling. His sweat's starting to profusely come out while he's pulling and pulling and pulling, and you see a separate entity appear a few feet away from the lady, and Sebong kind of collapses to his knees as he finishes that. And then as a bonus action, I'd like to cast Compel Duel, which is
Okay.
which is a spell that would force the spirit to only be able to attack me or take disadvantage against anyone else or doing anything else that isn't directed towards me.
Okay. Does it say anything about running away?
It is drawn to me specifically as if compelled by a divine demand.
Okay. All right. So this is what happens. You all
It has to make a wisdom saving throw to flee from me.
Okay, hold on. This can change a lot of things. Okay, 16?
That is high enough.
Can I use my reaction to silvery barbs it? Are we allowing silvery barbs?
Yeah, real cool. Yeah, all right, so I have to roll at
Okay.
disadvantage, right?
Yes.
Fuck, I rolled a 2, okay. Okay, so this is what happens. You see that this creature manifests as it's pushed out of her. The lady seems to suddenly become frail and small. She collapses in your arms, Hana, almost folding like paper. You see that she is shivering and she is completely drenched with sweat. In fact, it's so much sweat that it almost looks as if she had been dunked in water. It is just pouring down her face. It has soaked all of her clothes. And this song's too...
So sad.
You see that the spirit, it has an amorphous shape. It is distorted as it is no longer taking the body of another being. It is flickering in and out of perception here. And you hear it say,
I am An Pyong-jun, and I will have my revenge.
and it throws itself towards you, Sebong. You see that its incorporeal claws raise up and they try to go for your throat. But it's not its turn yet, so you don't have to worry right now. But, yeah. All right. Nari, it's your turn.
Hey, dope. Lots of things have happened here.
Yeah,
And
the room's
yeah.
on fire now.
hmm How upsetting that I can only make it more on fire. So I'm just not gonna do that part. What I would like to do instead is debate between if I bonk it or if I blast it. I think blasting in this case will work a lot better since I can do something else if I blast it. So I am simply going to cast Eldritch Blast on the spirit.
Yeah.
Yes, I will say I'm assuming this spirit is just under the current assumption that the spirit is undead because it is a spirit. I ignore resistance to like necrotic damage. I don't do necrotic damage just like per se, but I just thought I'm gonna just milk this subclass.
Yes,
really badly.
do it. It's a really cool
mhm.
subclass.
It's so fun. If I land this, I think I land this.
Armor class is 12.
Well, 13.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom. I can then, before I do damage, I can basically force you to make a charisma saving throw. Okay. And if you fail, the spirit's speed is reduced to 0.
I rolled a
until
1.
the next turn. Well, I'm assuming you failed, yes.
Yes. I think that is a safe assumption.
So their speed is now 0 until their next turn. So that is, you're not running.
Okay. Roll some damage for me for your Eldritch Blast and also your Hunter's Mark, please.
Does Hunter's Mark apply to cantrips? Or spells, I mean?
Oh, I think it's only weapons.
I'm pretty sure it's only weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking Hex. My bad.
It's okay. So that's like 11. Yeah. 11 force damage to the face.
Okay. What does your Eldritch Blast look like?
Yes. So I think what it looks like is Nari kind of reaches for one of the hair ornaments, like it's like she's going to pull out one of them. And instead what she does is she pulls from like one of the beads of the ornaments, and it's like this small string of this dark looking, almost electric magic. And she pulls it into this fine needle. And that's what she throws. And it's not even a throw, it's a flick of the wrist type of thing. It's like a really lazy jazz hand. When that needle flies, it's almost invisible. But the impact is even bigger. So it's like little projectile, big, not explosion, but like you see the whole, like the spirit's body kind of ripples, like it implodes on itself as it takes pure force from something so small.
As it takes the piercing damage here, the force damage here, you all see as the ripples wash over the spirit and it disincorporates. And very suddenly, the room is quiet. And the spirit is gone.
Are they within 90 feet?
No, they're gone.
Damn it. Oh my god. Okay.
I've got the lady, and I'm gonna try to get her comfortable and look over her husband and say, you want to help your wife?
You see the Lord is looking around frantically at the flames that are crackling and building, and he says, "Yes, get her out of here, quick."
Can Kato
Guards!
grab the bowl that the maid was using to and pour it on some of the fire?
Yeah, absolutely. You go about dousing the fire.
Yeah, I'm also gonna help with Gust. As soon as that spirit's gone, and like I think they splay their fingers and their long points of bone elongate and flatten to almost form like fans a little bit, and they sort of, but they're thin like webbing, bone-like webbing, and I'm gonna try to put it out with like wind as well, and hopefully not feed it more oxygen.
No, you don't. A lot of it just goes out from the force of your spell here. And you find that the room is quite ruined in the wake of the combat, both the thrashing and the flames themselves. As the situation begins to wrangle under control, the lady is taken into a separate room where she can find some rest, and you find the handmaiden again. She joins the lady and begins to look after her as she looks over any injuries and all of that. And the Lord joins you outside in the courtyard. He says,
I thought I was just going
Go
to
ahead.
be scowling at him.
"Why do you look at me like this?"
Who is An Byung-jun?
You see a dark look to his eyes, a look of recognition, something that wakes after sleeping so long, something that is brought to memory from a very deep place. He cants his head and he says, "An Byung-jun. Now, that's a name I haven't heard in a very, very long time. Someone I used to know. But he left here. He hasn't been seen here in a very long time."
Under what conditions and terms did he leave? This spirit possessed your wife with the intent to kill you through strangulation, which is very intimate and very intentional.
I am an important man. I have many enemies. It is of no surprise that someone or something would want to kill me, a man of my position and authority.
If just your life, Honorable Lord Wan, were the thing in question, I would allow you to cling to these fantasies, but please, your wife, your handmaiden, their lives are jeopardized by this grudge too.
Well, I leave it to you to find out what has gone on here. You can speak to the handmaiden if you like, but I think that we can all use some rest. If the spirit does come back, we have at least until midnight the following day. And I do have some lodging for you if you would like to take it.
Seoju turns back to the rest of the party and says, "Do I push, or do we relent?"
Hannah is just like egging you on a little bit.
Oh, no. It is far too late at night, and I believe the good lady deserves some rest in a nice, calm, not on fire, but restful house. We can push, and I looked specifically to the Lord, tomorrow. I have choked many a man, and I wouldn't mind snuffing yours for this purpose. And it's like I clench my fist, and my beautiful press-on nails just sink deeper into like my palm, like threatening to cut the skin, because oh my god, that bitch escaped. I wasted a spell slot. I only have 2.
You see that he withdraws and his guards are beginning to come forward, and he says, "We can continue this conversation tomorrow. Get your rest. My wife deserves some. Good night."
Night. Make sure that if you know you're fanning her while she sleeps, you don't leave the windows closed. Make sure there's a lot of good airflow. You don't want to, invite the fan death spirits and all that. Just,
My God.
yeah.
That's
Haven't had good luck with spirits. Let's not tempt fate.
Everyone knows to not sleep with your door or your windows closed if you have the fan on. Why would you say such a commonly understood thing? Good night. And you are escorted back to the front gate, and you're taken to a yogwan, a small one-story inn And as the group of you are taken to your room, I think that's a perfect place for us to take a quick break. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Just to remind everyone, we are playing Undying Corruption. This is the very first adventure, I believe. In the book, it's an anthology. There are very many adventures in it. There are new classes, new subclasses, new backgrounds, new races. You can find out all of the information there in the chat. Check out the Kickstarter. It just launched today. I'm about to play a video for all of you so you can see what it's all about. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Please join us in grabbing some water, grabbing a snack, doing a stretch, and we'll be back soon. You're back. We find our heroes resting in the Yolguan that you have been given lodging to. You find that it's not very fancy. It's a small, squat, humble building, and it is more or less just a comfortable place to eat, rest, sleep, bathe, and you find much reprieve from the very odd events of the night. You wake to the smell of breakfast, the sounds of industry outside, and the crowing of a morning rooster. The door to your room slides open, and you see a familiar figure dressed in black, stepping in without shoes. Song Ji-yu, the Chosong Saja, the leader of the Black Bear clan, smokes a pipe that smells of moss and wet soil. You see her remove her hat as she settles down onto the floor, crossing her legs, and she says, "Be at ease, everyone. It's not your time yet."
Not our time yet? That sounds so ominous.
Yes, it's a joke because we're the Grim Reapers, but
Oh yeah.
yes.
Sorry. I'm so
It's all right. Did you sleep well?
And everybody else?
Said we're eating
I mean,
breakfast.
I could sleep more if that's what you're saying.
For sure.
Well,
My dreams were plagued by monsters with gnashing teeth and the screams of people I could not save.
again?
I mean, you don't have to sleep if that's what you're going back to.
Yes, I'm sorry. Very par for the course here.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I could help make you sleep a lot better.
Well, I'm here on clan business. And you see Song Ji-yu raise up her hand, and she has 3 envelopes that have been opened in her palm. She says, "Tell me what happened last night."
Who's taking the lead on this one?
Lord Wan's wife was possessed.
Mm-hmm.
Sebong performed an exorcism.
Good. Were you able to destroy the spirit? Or at least send it back from whence it came?
From my eyes, yes.
Nari, I will go ahead and let you know that you're pretty sure that it's still around somewhere. It just managed to somehow escape.
That's where I will like, for the record, Nari looks like the morning dew, new hairstyle, fresh flowers, decorating, a whole different hanbok because I came prepared with multiple outfits that are not battle ready. And I will and she'll simply go, no, we did not. Though we certainly did try. It has escaped us for the time being.
Is that so? Well, we should. I would advise all of you to stay in Unsan as we investigate further. Maybe there might be more to this possession. If the spirit was not so willing to leave after you exorcised it and tried to persuade it away, something must be holding it back.
There's some
Finished
kind of
business.
connection between the spirit and Lord Wan. The spirit said that their name was An Byung-jun.
The name doesn't mean anything to me, unfortunately. But I will say, and she kind of wiggles the envelopes in her hands, the locals have caught wind of what you were doing last night. And as such, they are eager to seek for more help. These are fresh requests that I picked up just this morning. Perhaps with everyone so eager to seek out help, they might be able to provide some insight on what's been going on.
Yeah, maybe, Lord Wan said something about, knew this on Youngjun a really long time ago, so maybe you can find any old-timers. They could tell us something about this person.
Perhaps.
We can, do some other jobs on the side. As long as we don't tell everybody that we didn't actually finish last night's job. That's probably should keep that on the down low. Yeah.
Hana, I can go shake down some old people with you if you would like.
That sounds like a great idea. Let's go do it. You just look all scary and stuff, and I can ask questions, and then when they don't answer, you just look even more scary, and then they'll talk.
Yes, like a corpse in a sunbeam.
Let's go with that, yeah.
You see Sung Chiyu just slide one of the envelopes towards the two of you. You can easily open it, pull the parchment out, and you can see that scrawled on it in a very messy hand is someone complaining about a miasma spreading from a nearby house. And there are two more.
Kato puts her hand out.
Yeah, you get one that talks about a woman puzzled over her shoes and sandals disappearing. And she holds the final one out to Nari and Sebong.
I'll take it like a and then and what does it say?
It speaks of feral, enraged beasts attacking hunters in the woods.
Sebong will kind of peek over and look at Nari's and go, "Oh yeah, that one. Looks to be the most heroic."
Oh, it is indeed, my friend. Did you say the woods where there is dirt on the floor?
An adventure in the air.
So meaty.
Okay, so here's the question. Are we splitting up and doing all these things? Or are we going all together? Because ferocious beasts kind of sound like, I don't know, I'm kind of worried about you two being out in the woods and all that.
I had the same question.
Well, I will be around. I will go do my own investigating as well and see what I can find out. But I leave these 3 tasks to the group of you. I believe that you have exceeded your training, and it is now time for you to embrace the path as Mudang. You will do well, whatever you decide here. Good luck. And don't close your doors and windows if you turn on the fan at night.
See, I didn't think that was a common sense thing. I think it's a great way to just leave people and, let them know that you care and look out.
Just common decency to remind
Right.
everyone.
Yeah.
It's very
cool.
important. All right.
Kato's going to hold up the paper and look at Nari. Do you want to trade because shoes and sandals disappearing sounds like nothing that I don't know. But I'll go in the dirt.
Yes. And I take the paper from you and I go, ha ha ha. I can't wait to take a break. Though I do have to agree with the ferocious beasts in the forest. It sounds like a lot of work. And it doesn't sound like a two-person job. So perhaps the four of you can become very heroic and just, and I can be like very far away over there with Shrek and, watch from afar and go, yay! Like I have about like 120 feet sniping range too. So it's not like I'm not doing anything. I'm just not in dirt.
So we stick together.
Yeah, I'm feeling like we should do that. I mean, hey, maybe we'll even get the jobs done faster, and then we can just like bust through them all in a day.
Feral beasts first.
Agreed.
Feral
Let's do the hard ones first.
Yeah.
Okay. So as the group of you are beginning to make your way out, you bump into the owner of the establishment. Kwan Boram is a dwarven woman. And you see that she is bustling around and making food. As she sees the group of you, she bows from the hips. Good morning. You are all the talk of the town today. It is such an honor to have you here.
Fantastic.
Good morning.
Good talk, I hope.
Oh, absolutely. It would be my pleasure to offer you something to drink. I have nokcha. I have gurmu. Anything that you would like? Tea, water.
Makgeolli?
Milk? Oh, of course, we do. Our rice wines are some of the most popular items here. Please, have a seat. Make yourselves comfortable. I would very much like to have at least a word with you before you head off on your day.
What's the sweet rice drink? The Korean sweet rice drink with the barley or the malt?
Ooh.
Mom used to make it all the time, and I used to chug it like it was water.
Yes. Shike.
That's what I want.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so she says, yes, absolutely. I just made a fresh batch. And she begins to hurry off into the kitchen, and you're all brought to this very elaborate, lacquered short table, and there's a number of fluffy cushions for you to situate yourselves on. And she lays out a few different little treats. There's some popped rice cakes. There's a few pieces of fruit that have been cut up and arranged quite nicely, delicately. And she puts out a number of hot drinks, cold drinks, anything that you have requested. And she sits down with you, and after she's poured all of the drinks to each one of you, she pours one for herself. And she says, thank you so much for making time. Is everything all right with Lorng Wan? We are all very concerned for Lady Soyun. She is very beloved.
Oh yeah, I think she's doing great. She looked good last night. We got rid of that spirit out of her. It was fine. And as I'm like taking a drink, I'm actually gonna also like slice like my finger a little bit on a knife, and I'm just gonna like hold it out to the side. My little ghost is gonna like wisp up, and it's gonna like take a little sip out of my finger.
It's the fanciest silly straw I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh, you just see like, she just stares blankly. She says, oh, well, that's good news. She blinks away as someone enters in, and she says, please excuse me. She gets up, she greets the newcomer, and you see that this man that walks in, he is dressed like a guard. He's a half-orc, and he sits down at another table, and you begin to hear him grumbling to her as she's serving him. He mentions something about, mining work has become increasingly difficult for low pay. The Lord had said something about new silver veins opening up, but if there's more silver, then we should be getting paid better. And you see that Kwan Boram is just standing there and just kind of nodding and doing the complacent, polite thing of just being there and listening. Is there anything else that I can get you? No, this is good. Thank you. He looks over his shoulder at the group of you, dismisses, and continues drinking. Kwan Boram sits back down with you. I'm so sorry for that.
What do you know about An Byungjun? Is that name familiar?
Yes, my memory is quite foggy about this person. He was a young gentleman that lived in the area before he went to the capital for his studies, I think. I remember he had a reputation as a romantic, ambitious man, looking to make a name for himself. But that was over 10 years ago, I think. It's gotta be 10. Yeah, it was around the time of the... Oh, yes, 10 years ago.
Were there ever any rumors about him and...
And at this, Sealger, like, struggles to find the correct words.
This is and I'll chime in to be like, to be respectful in that subtle Asian way, and just go, were perhaps the Lord and in him a little, just a little,
Just a little... no, but like the subtle way, right? Like, little...
yeah, it's the subtle, it's the subtle gay and limp, but like I'm sit nice, and you can't see because I'm short in real life, but just pretend that I'm seated nice, straight, and proper, and I have my hands rested nicely, and so you just see, was he a little...
No, I don't think that he was, but I do know that they were friends, I think. Classmates, maybe.
Roommates?
I am uncertain.
What did they study? Do you know what he went off to the capital to pursue?
I believe it was civil studies. I think he wanted to be... he wanted to seek out a scholarly pursuit. Perhaps a lawman.
When were Lord Wan and the lady married?
It has been a very long time.
When and where did they meet?
The lady and the lord?
Yes.
I believe they met here. Lady Soyeon is a local. She was born and raised here, and Lord Wan moved here after he came into power. I believe that he lived somewhere else.
And this, mine, does he own it? Operate it?
Oh, yes. It is absolutely one of the most profound accomplishments of Lord Wan. He has been able to acquire a great fortune of silver from the mines. It did just recently become more, as one would say, lucrative. Rumor says that he found a number of new veins, and it will bring new prosperity to the town.
I see. And, well, obviously, the man who moved away is...
And, like, they drop their voice so only the party can hear.
a super mega dead, like vengeful spirit dead.
And they, like, raise their voice back up.
Anyway, thank you so much for the tea, the wine, the
Porridge. And they gesture at the porridge they'd ordered, but they hadn't taken a single sip.
Oh,
Yes.
can you tell us anything about the woods? If, the kinds of animals that frequented.
Oh, there are very many animals here around our town. We are in the Hangwon wetlands, and there are boars, there are alligators, there are all sorts of woodland creatures. Wolves.
The The wetlands, you say? Swampy, marshy water?
Yes, you are in the Yowa province and the Hangwan wetlands.
And Tilger turns and looks at the rest of the party.
What I saw in the kind lady's mind. The tussling in the water, in the mud.
And they turn back to the Dwarven innkeep.
Is there an area of the wetlands where people tend to disappear? A place where it would be easy to dispose of corpses or bodies?
Oh, what a grim implication. The wetlands are untamed, so yes, I suppose if one were to have a nefarious purpose like that, there would be miles and miles of such land.
I see. And did the man who moved away, An Byung-jun, did he carry anything on him that was very notable? A favorite pen, a medallion, anything?
I do believe that he had a family seal. He was the eldest of his own, and he was quite proud of his legacy, of what he set out to do.
I see. Thank you.
And Tilger will go on to like ask for details about what the seal looks like. But I think the rest of you can surmise this is when Tilger gets a lead, right? Like they look very intent, and like those nebulous fire eyes are like flaring with interest. Because I think you all would know they know how to locate objects magically.
Yeah, so she goes on to describe anything that you ask. She doesn't have very many details. She says, "Oh, I only saw it in passing once. I believe it was a form of his name, his surname, his family name. Probably had an oak handle, and then she explains as much detail as she can. It's a small lead, but she doesn't seem to be intimately aware of this individual. And the more you ask her, she seems to become increasingly unsettled, especially as she's kind of putting together the pieces of what you are pretty obviously thinking. Well, I'm sure that he's fine in this big city. He was a bright man and could only have a luminous future ahead of him."
Sure.
Oh, my good lady. Please, soothe your spirit. We're just doing our jobs, and so we want to cover a much larger ground. I'm sure the fine lord is absolutely 100% prosperous and peachy.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna use deception to soothe her.
Okay, yeah, roll me deception.
Wonderful.
She is a commoner.
As a commoner, it's okay. Yeah. I'm still proficient.
Hell yeah.
Jesus. I think remember our session 0 and I told you but I get 17s a lot?
Yep.
Well, 1 second, because I have to do math.
Is it 17 plus number? Yeah, you passed.
24. Yeah, 24.
Yeah, 24. Oh, yes. Everything will be fine. Especially with you now here. Thank you so much. If there's anything else that you need, please just let me know. I am your gracious host and very appreciative of having you here in our village. I'm sure you've got a busy day ahead of you, so please don't let me take any more of your time. She bows and she excuses herself a little hurriedly.
I'm gonna turn to the team and just go, and we wanted to do the forest first.
All right.
Let me change.
So, what's the other option at this point? Sploaching through the wetlands and looking for corpses? That's fun too, I guess.
Oh, I mean, we could do the miasma and the shoes, and then the wetlands or forest, and then
I don't
since
even
it's-
know what miasma is, to be honest.
Oh, it's think of it like an ill omen in the form of a gas. It's poisonous.
Gassy.
It sticks to your skin, and not like a fart, but like a unwanted powder almost, you know? Like
It's,
when you
uh,
get
Ow.
sticky sap stuck on your fingers.
That sounds fun.
Yes,
It's
except it eats
this.
away at you. Oh,
And Tealdrew will like roll some of that like black smoke, like fog mist. I think they do produce miasma when they cast spells sometimes. It like rolls out of their mouth and sort of pours onto the ground of the inn. And maybe like disturbs the innkeep a little bit more, but it's harmless.
Yeah, like in the background, like kind of blurred out because of the distance. Like the innkeeper just kind of stops, stares, turns her head, and just continues doing what she was doing. Okay, so we'll montage a little bit here. You have 3 options. You can check out the missing shoes, the miasma, or the beasts. Which direction do you want to go first?
You can start with shoes.
I was
It
like,
sounds
can
like
we-
the easier
Shoe sounds
one.
fun and creepy.
yeah,
I
I was gonna go like can we go like easiest sounding to the hardest? Because I think
Yeah,
in terms of montage, it's gonna be funny. We just pull out a shoe, and then we turn on a fan, the death fan. But against the
Shoe is actually the hardest quest. So
Okay. You pull out the envelope that mentions the shoes, and you head off in the direction of the instructions there. You approach a grassy field towards the outskirts of town and meet the client underneath the branches of a birch tree. It reads that her name is Park Young-sun, and she's a historian. She walks to work, but has found that her shoes have been disappearing all of a sudden for quite some time. And each time she has went and bought new shoes from a cobbler, only for them to continue to pop out of existence. There have been 5 instances of this. As she's sitting beneath the tree, she closes her book as the group of you approach. She is an elven woman, and she has long brown hair that's pulled into a braid onto one side. She looks up to you and says, "Oh, you must be the Mudang. Hello. Good morning."
hey, we hear you
Morning.
have a problem with some shoes.
Yes, I don't understand why they keep disappearing. It's just, it happens every day at the same time. About now, actually, and she's looking around, trying to see, but you are in an empty field. There's nothing else but the tree, you, and her.
Wait,
We sense any spirits, any celestials, or fit the Mudang ability.
So is that something you have to activate?
they.
Uh,
I
It
think-
seems to be passive.
Okay.
Like they have to make a stealth check against
Yeah.
us.
Okay. Hold on.
I think they do like a wisdom save or something.
I rolled 19.
Ooh.
I also have-
Still.
Divine sense as a paladin, so I should be able to smell undead.
Okay. Is that like
That's
a
activated.
That's activated. Okay. So as far as like just vibing, we don't sense anything. She points to a basket on the ground and she says, "Every morning, so far over the last 5 days, when I sit here, I take off my shoes, and one of them just goes missing." And as she's gesturing down, you see one of her sandals begins to slowly slither out of the basket, and then it bloop, disappears, winks out of existence. See? Again, number 6.
Well, is it always just one shoe?
Just one.
Is it always a left or right foot?
It's always the right one.
Do I
Maybe that's-
divinely smell anything?
Do you activate it?
I activate it.
Okay. What does it look like when you activate your divine sense?
Just like he's gonna put his hand to his head as if he's having the mother of all headaches, and just kind of reach out in all directions, kind of scanning around
Okay.
and taking deep breaths in.
You smell Faye. You smell it fleeing very quickly back towards town. Yes?
Something's leaving.
You would also smell Faye on the dokebi in the team as well, because we're both Faye,
Mhm.
technically.
Yeah. So you would be able to recognize Sealger and Nari's scent.
So he's going to turn to the group quickly, or as quickly as he can, point to Nari and Sealju and be like, something that smells like you two, that way towards town, running now.
Hey, wait. Slow down. We just wanna talk.
Auto's off.
Yeah, Tilger's trying to call out. They assume whatever this thing is invisible or something, so they're just gonna call out in its general direction and try to entreat it to stay. But even though they're saying, like,
We just want to talk, and you don't want to talk to us when we're angry or frustrated or impatient.
Is that an intimidation check?
yes, is my attempt to intimidate.
Yeah, go for it. Roll for me.
I have a +0 charisma, so
I love it.
Let's do this.
This is the force of personality shining through.
That's a 5.
Oh no.
I think as like you're starting to say this, I think Park Young-sun just ends up like yelling and just being too loud, and I think it drowns you out just a tiny bit, so it's less impactful. You feel like it doesn't land or hit as hard as you wanted it to. Okay, so we have Kado and Sebong making their way following the scent. Nari and Hana, is there anything that you want to do? You see the woman is just like gesturing meticulously, gesticulating meticulously down at the basket.
I mean, like, I see him running that way, and I mean, oh gosh, it's running. So I guess what I would like to do is go the other way. Not like I'm walking away from this, but more so trying to see if, like, let's say this thing rounds a corner, like if I can attempt to do it, you know,
Cut him off.
yeah.
Mhm.
And it's a little weird, I guess, because theoretically I don't know exactly where they're going, but like it seems like the best course of action, and also a real fun way for me to not run. Just walk briskly.
Okay. Hana, you see Nari going in a different direction.
What? Okay, I'm gonna run after Sebong and Sealger, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like a little alternating, like my ghost is gonna like shoot ahead of me, and then it's gonna kind of flicker a little bit, and then it will like end up swapping places. And you're gonna see like me flickering in and out of like existence as me and my echo are trying to like catch up to everybody.
I love it.
I know what I can do. I want to yell, "Little shoe thief! I have very nice shoes. Little shoe thief! You can take this one shoe, maybe. Maybe. I would like to make a trade for shoes, shoe thief." But I'm still going the other way.
Okay. Amazing.
Love that.
All right. So the group of you that are pursuing the scent, you find yourselves being drawn to what appears to be a cobbler.
Cobbler?
a shoe crafter.
The same one that the good madam has been buying shoes from every day.
As the group of you, I think Nari, you take like the long way around, so the others are kind of like at the storefront, and you just come from a different direction. All of you meet up at different times, and you see that in the window of the shop appears to be a slipper that looks very, very similar to the one that you just saw.
This a hustle.
Let's go in.
Okay. As you enter in, you see that there's a human man who is currently setting up shop. He's wiping down surfaces, and he says, "Oh, hello! Welcome to my shoe store." He immediately looks down at all of your feet. "Oh, yes, you do with some replacing. Oh, yes, yours are about to fall apart. You don't even have shoes on, but I could make some for you. Welcome on in. What can I do for you?"
Why do you have a fae stealing shoes that were bought from you?
Good approach, I like it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Points to the shoe in the window.
It seems very obvious that you're abusing the term return policy when it comes to the shoes.
That's one of my most popular designs.
Insight check.
Yeah, everyone can insight check.
I feel
Everyone?
like
Yeah, anyone that wants to.
18.
Dang.
13.
Okay.
11.
Just letting you know, I rolled another 17 on the die.
Okay.
So,
What do you get,
19.
Connie?
I rolled another 5. I have a +3 insight, so an
Oh my-
8.
What's got Shilger distracted?
I think it's these beautiful shoes. I assume this cobbler is really good at what he does. I assume. And it's beautiful. And Sealger's feet aren't in shoes. There are these long, like, bony claws that look like the skeleton of, like, a raptor, like a velociraptor with these, like, long hooked nails. So they're looking almost, like, longingly and wistfully at one of, like, the particularly beautiful boots that they could never fit into anymore.
Nari and Hana, you just know in your bones, this is a slippery guy. This man right here, he is not an innocent or honest person. You could just tell from the way he's carrying himself that he's got something up his sleeve here. And he just kind of like waves his hand dismissively and says, "Well, prove it. You can't prove anything. I just make shoes. That's all I do."
little shoe thief, do you speak Sylvan or Draconic?
Hold on. I don't know. Either way, you don't get a reply. Sebong, you definitely still smell that scent in the area, and it's definitely not Nari or Shilger.
I kind of turn to the group for a second, specifically Nari and Silju, and kind of in a low voice, could this be one of your folks? Do either of you speak the native tongue?
One of us. I don't claim kinship with any other Dokebi aside from Nari.
Hi, Key. Yeah, probably. I do also enjoy whatever the fuck is going on here. Kind of want to let it happen a little bit, but this is a very fun side hustle.
As you say that, he says, Look, if you report me, I'll have my little friends beat the shit out of you.
Oh, are you trying to threaten us?
Maybe I am.
Do you know?
Having a side hustle, huh? Do you know how much damage that could do to my business? I'm just here to make shoes. It's not my problem if sometimes they go missing.
Do you know who we are? Do you know what we are?
You're wearing last season's shoes.
Oh, that was the wrong answer. And I pull out my staff.
Yes.
As you do, you see him like jump behind the counter and he cowers and he says, "Get 'em, boys!"
Oh!
He raises his voice and he says, "Do you remember the wicked people that I told you about? This is them. They're here. They're finally here. They're here to steal back all of their ill-gotten gains." And you hear just like the slightest clicking of claws as something invisible begins to approach from multiple directions.
Mikado's gonna growl and say, "That was the wrong answer. You thought us telling on you was going to ruin your business." And slips her or pulls her bow out.
I know with sewing, like a lot of times, there's you use chalk to mark like your seams and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Will there possibly be any like types of chalk or anything on the counter that this cobbler was using while making shoes?
Yes, there's absolutely two bowls of different color dye powder.
Cool.
There's
'Cause
red
when
and
I heard
blue.
The click clacking, I would want to see if we could like swipe it across the floor and hopefully see some signs of wherever these things are.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand here.
Okay. Come on, guys. Woo! 18 on the die, 21.
Very nice. As you swipe at the bowls, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that they like flip through the air and there's just a cloud of this deep royal blue dust that kicks up and this like really rich blood red color just poof, all around the area. You are all covered in these splotches of color and like as it begins to settle, you see a fine sheen on three very short, very lumpy beings that are
Unique
very
fairy fire.
clearly holding these large clubs. They are 100% dokebi.
Perfect.
And as they're like, as they begin coughing profusely, they look to each other and they like point, obviously very aware that they can be seen now. To go,
I'm not rolling, I swear. I went to move my dice.
This does give them pause. They stop advancing and they look very confused.
Hey, look, they're. I'll point to my companions. The same as you. We didn't come here to be harmful. We came here to reveal him as the evil genius. And point to the cobbler.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh, geez, why am I doing this? Why am I talking? Why are words coming out of my mouth? Persuasion? Oh, that's a 5. Connie, I'm in the 5
Five
club.
They don't seem convinced. They look at their clubs.
We're not exactly the same, Hana. I appreciate the sentiment, but if there is one lingua franca we do share, it's this. Put your clubs down. And I'm gonna try to cast Cause Fear.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah. What happens?
On one of them, the one that's the most covered in dust, that I can see the silhouette the most of. Technically, I can only cast it on a creature I can see within range, but because they're covered in powder,
Yeah,
they're
that
pretty
counts.
GM. Okay,
Yes, that
great.
counts.
That's a whiz save against 14.
He rolls a 10. Okay, so you see one that's like red, one that's blue, and then one that's kind of purple. Because, yeah, the purple one begins to immediately cower, and as they wave their club around, you see a shoe disappear from the storefront. It just winks out of existence, and he begins to run.
I shoot him.
You want to shoot the running away little boy? Okay, I mean you can if you want.
Yeah.
I will use silvery barbs to give you disadvantage on that.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
18 and 20. So
Oh
it's
my
an 18
God.
plus. That's the best I've ever rolled in my life. Yeah, 26
Okay.
for 8 damage.
Okay. You shoot him in the butt.
Yeah.
He goes,
That wasn't aiming
"Ow!"
for like the head or anything.
Yeah, you shoot him in the butt and you see him just like fall down and is just trying to escape, and he begins to try to crawl out of the store.
And that's where I yell, "Come back here right now, and we'll stop shooting you and the rest of your friends. We just want to talk."
Okay, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Can I use my silvery barbs to give
Nat
you advantage
20.
on that? Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
Nat 20. Okay. As you call out, you hear the two dokebi that are still in the store. They are speaking to each other and they lower their weapons. One of them points over to the storekeep and says, "He's a noble gentleman, and he told us that we're here to help him against wicked people. Wicked
You
people
have-
like you, right?"
No. You have been misled, little one. We are Mudang. Mudang, correct?
Mhm.
Thank God, because I keep wanting to say a different word, and I
It's
know
fine.
that's the wrong word. Okay, we are Mudang. We are here to stop evil spirits. I don't think you are evil spirits at all. In fact, you're being made to be little shoe thieves, and thieves are bad. You don't want to be bad, do you?
No.
Do you want to be good little helpers?
They look to each other, and the other one says, "We're here to steal back ill-gotten gains. We want to help."
Games. But the people you're stealing from bought the shoes. In fact, you're forcing poor people to buy even more shoes because you keep stealing them.
You see their shoulders beginning to slump, and the one that was crawling out the store is like slowly turning around and crawling towards you.
Kato's gonna go over to the one on the ground and pull the arrow out and then cast
Cheek
and then
hurts
cast
so bad.
cure wounds on their butt.
Oh, that feels good.
For 9, so they're all healed.
Oh, I actually feel a little more energetic than I was before.
You really should not run.
Oh, I won't.
Oh, well, now that your bum cheeks are all healed, would you perhaps not work for this gross, greasy old man anymore?
He was a liar. He's not
A
noble.
liar. Not
It's
noble,
not noble of
at
him
all.
You see that they begin to thump their clubs on the ground, and
Would you like to work for someone noble?
it looks like they're about to beat the shit out of him. But as you say that, they pause and they look to you and they say, "What do you got in mind?"
I mean, I can pay you and put you in cute little outfits.
Outfits, maybe. Pay, we're not really concerned with that. Listen, As Tokebi and as you know, our people, we like to have a little bit of fun. We like a little bit of mischief, a little bit of deceit and deception, but we don't mean harm on anyone. And if there's a little bit of drink involved.
Oh, there would be a lot of drink involved. How would you... The rest of you, close your ears. Just do this. For me. Yes, all of you. We have cams on. Put the motion.
You see one of the Tokebi starts plugging their ears.
Not you, not you little ones.
Okay.
So perhaps I work in the nightlife when I'm not doing this, and perhaps I visit. I don't visit. They come to me. Not so noble people. And I could take them down a peg or two every time, but I'm just so preoccupied. There's too many of them. I wouldn't mind a little bit of help with that.
So they're bad guys.
They're bad people.
Oh. And we get snacks. Drinks?
So, yes. Snacks, drinks, heck, even a pillow.
Do we get to beat the shit out of someone?
Sometimes. Not all of them, but some of them, yes.
Okay. They kind of huddle, and you see the group of you see them beginning to huddle. They do drop their invisibility, and you can see that they all look a little different. They come in different shapes and sizes. You see that just overall, they are very small people, and they have a bit of a monstrous look to them. They do not look like Sealger whatsoever, but they also don't look like Nari. They each have their own characteristics. You see that one of them has these large tusks. You see another one of them looks almost like a very small human. You see that another one of them looks a little bit more like a wolf. Kind of has this like fuzzy sheen to their cheeks. And after a bit of discussion, they agree. And they say, all right, we can do some business with you. As long as we keep it fun.
So much fun. I'm gonna give you an address. You can go stay there for now because we have a bit more of not fun work to do, and I don't want to drag you three into the not fun work. Okay?
All right. Sounds good.
All right. I give them the address, like where to go, and like,
Yeah.
I'll give them my like little Oh, I'm forgetting the little talisman charm that I have that I wear.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you. I'll give them that so that way they can show it to the innkeeper. And,
Okay.
and you know, it's like they're with us. And now I have a little Dopey gang when I go back.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
We're gonna mug some
So-
royal.
As the three of them are leaving, there's a very small whisper amongst them that says, "Can you read this?" No, I can't read. And they just like turn the corner and disappear.
Can I take my fingers out of my ears?
Yes, you can. We finished the job.
Okay, cool. How'd it go?
Oh, super well. Gonna mug a lot of people. Not mug. Politely rob.
Okay. Well, that's bad. Yeah, at least it's polite.
You hear a cowering voice from behind the counter, and he says, "How about this? If you just leave, I'll stop. I'll pursue a more noble path, and everything will be fine. You don't need to worry about reporting me. You don't have to worry about any more shoes going missing. Here, take as many shoes as you want. Each one of you. One pair of shoes for each. Yeah, just..."
Does he seem like he's being honest?
No.
Inside joke.
No.
Taking the free shoes.
How about this?
And Sealger, like, sort of hunkers forward to the counter and sort of, like, towers over it, casting a shadow over this man across the counter.
If we get one more whiff of you doing this, trying to exploit the poor people of this good town.
And they flick out their hand and they do, like, a minor, like, crepe on fire in the palm of their hand. Just flames rolling up from the porous bone of their palm.
I hear shoes are highly flammable.
Oh.
And they
leave.
close their hand to a fist.
Oh. All right, you have my word.
Your word isn't good enough.
Okay, here. And he throws a coin pouch at you.
They let it just clatter pathetically onto the ground as it spills the coins across the dust-laden floor.
Your bond, your word, in writing, your seal, your stamp.
Yeah, just don't torch my shop. And you see him scrambling, his hands are shaking, and he struggles quite a bit to maintain dexterity in doing this. And as he's writing the words, they are erratic, but he performs exactly what you ask. He writes down a written guarantee that he will no longer mislead or manipulate people for any amount of money to any nefarious purpose, etc., etc. And it's convincing. It seems to, I don't know the words that are on the paper, but it in the vein of like what you want. Yes. And he stamps it, and he, please just leave me alone.
Fine.
And Xiuxu turns around and addresses the rest of the party.
Maybe this little bit of leverage will invoke some of Lord Juan's gratitude from us for helping to clean up his town economically. Maybe he'll be more forthcoming.
Good job.
Maybe. Oh, sorry, Kato. What were you gonna say?
I just
Avocado?
said, good job.
I start picking up the coins off the ground.
Okay.
I straight up take shoes.
Okay, yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many different kinds of slippers and boots. There's 25 silver pieces on the floor there.
I'm just gonna grab some shoes as replacements for all the shoes that the lady bought.
Oh, these are some good fucking shoes. And I
Yeah.
take some slip-ons, and I take a little fancier ones. Just take that,
Paid for like 5 different shoes.
put it in the bag. Yep.
All the shoes.
Yeah, Nari, you see that there's a pair of shoes here that are very, very delicate. Something that is presentable for a courtly person. Something that maybe even the lady of the manor might own. And you also all see the pair of shoes that were very clearly stolen before in the windowsill.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna take those the ones from the windowsill.
Okay, yep. So, absolutely.
We did.
All right. So as the group of you make your way back towards the historian, Park Yong-sun, she's ecstatic to get the shoe back, and you see her hug them to her chest, and she asks you, what happened? What did you find out why this was going on? Do you tell her the details?
Yeah, let's rat this guy out.
Okay, she gets inflamed. She says something to the effect of, we have to report this. We have to tell the guards. This is illegal. This is a crime. I'm certain I'm not the only victim in this crime. There are many, many people that live here, a lot of which do not have the means to buy a new pair of shoes every time they go missing. I've been very fortunate myself. We have to do
Well,
something.
He said he won't do it again.
I have the little babies. I have a little baby brigade, so you don't gotta worry about that part of this.
We can make
did give
him give everybody shoes.
Let's, cause yeah. Now I'm thinking about it. I remember there was other shoes in there that were like those don't. We should do that.
But that seems to be more of the guard's job than our job. The spirit mischief has been managed. At this point, we're talking about reparations.
I mean, he could either return the shoes or he could pay them back for all the shoes they had to rebuy.
Seems easily reconciled. Wait,
So,
I don't know that word.
Will you help me talk to the guards, or do I have to go by myself?
How about we talk to the cobbler instead?
What point is there to keep talking to him? He's the one that's behind all of this.
But he can't do it anymore, and he can give everybody their shoes back. They bring in the left shoe, he gives them the right shoe.
Can also demand your money back, and you should. And if he resists, bring up the writ.
All right. We can try that.
I feel like he will be totally okay with it.
All right. So we see the camera pull out from this scene as the historian begins to make her way towards the cobbler's shop, and we montage quite a bit as the group of you look at the very lovely seal that is put onto one of these parchments, signifying you've completed the job. And you fold it up, you put the envelope away, and as you unfurl the next one, it speaks of a miasma somewhere in the heart of the village. And as you begin to make your way there, a very strange odor begins to fill your nose. 3 clay houses with thatched roofs stand by each other, all of them appearing quite rough and weathered. One of them is decrepit, worn under the weight of years and years of avoiding attentive care. You see mold and decay spilling out from the cracks of the building. From this very house, you see a greenish miasma of spores that linger in the air, wafting where the winds blow. It smells rank. It smells foul. There's something dark and unpleasant happening here. And as the group approaches, you see that there is a dwarven man who has a pointed beard. He is shouting obscenities, throwing rocks at the house. And unfortunately, we have run out of time. And that is where we're going to end this session for tonight.
Woo!
I was going to ask if there was like a
Thank you.
clicking sound.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stop. It's the ones that you can't hear the clicking that's scary. You know, the stalkers are on all floors. No.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. This has been a wonderful adventure. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, so we can't finish out the chapter, but as you have been able to see, this is a very action-packed, and there's a lot of lore put into this very small adventure. And hopefully you enjoyed the preview. This has been Undying Corruption, a new 5th edition D&D Korean anthology of adventures featuring subclasses, new races and backgrounds that are all tied deeply into Korean folklore. And you can check out the link there in the chat to see the Kickstarter. They are very close to 50% funded already. Today was the first day they launched, and they're doing very, very well. Please check it out. The art is absolutely gorgeous. You can tell a lot of love and attentive care has been put into this. And I just want to thank everyone that's been part of this project, including all of our cast members here. We're going to go around. Please tell me about who you are, where we can find you, and if you have any plugs, please share all about you. And we'll go the other way around and start with Aki.
Hi, I'm Aki. I've been Aki. I will continue to be Aki, I think. Maybe. Yeah. And you can find me everywhere as Akinomi_art. I do a lot of things when it comes to TTRPG stuff, so I'm just going to list the things that I'm in, whether I produce it, play it, or produce and play it. I'm on Goblins and Gays, Aneo Magiri, Bring Your Own Mech, a new Star Wars pod that I have no idea what's going on with because I don't like Star Wars, but it's going to be really fun. Calls An Unwavering Force, City That Never Dies. There's a couple other ones that I think are finished now, hopefully. And if you liked the Dokipi race, that is a stretch goal. It's 70K. We're like halfway through like the actual campaign itself, and we got like a whole month left. So please share this around. I want to keep playing Dokipi more than I realized, and that will only become available if we reach that 70K stretch goal. So I'm just saying, you should do it.
Just saying.
Peer pressure.
Well, thank you so much. And what was your favorite part of today's session?
Oh, my favorite part was, I think, getting to use my warlock abilities and all of the really crunchy Connie description. Oh wow, I was hungry a little bit before we started playing, and now I'm full. I'm actually full. I'm not hungry at all. Amazing. And the baby brigade, the little shoe thieves, they're great.
They're so good. Yeah. That part of the adventure was called the footwear conspiracy. Amazing. Thank you so much. Next, we have Connie.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I played everyone's favorite moody, edgy, so many edgy bones. Skeletal Dokebi Yongtyoju. When I'm not here on Stella Luna's incredible channel as a guest, I am the GM and creative producer of Transplanar RPG, which is an all-transgender, POC-led D&D dark fantasy show set in an original non-colonial anti-Orientalist world. The premise is a bunch of very sad, very horny queers have to band together and fight off the apocalypse. So if you like, eldritch monstrosity plus L-word level drama, you will really like our main flagship campaign, The Second Stranger, plus all the crunchy, as Aki put it, descriptions but in GM form. That is my signature. So that's Saturdays at 8 p.m. US Eastern Time, right here on Twitch at Transplanar RPG. You can also toss me a follow on Twitter at by Connie Chong, BYCONNIECHANG, where I post about TTRPG things and talk about being a writer and a game master and whatnot. My favorite part of the session, there's so many. All of you were so incredible. Stella, you were such an incredible GM. Thank you for running such a tight ship and showing us the world and showing everyone what Undying Corruption can do and what it brings to the table. I think you did an incredible job showcasing this supplement and this adventure, and you should be very proud. Everyone has such highlight moments. I loved it when Kato shot the fleeing Dokebi in the ass. That was hilarious. I loved Saybone's exorcism. You're the one who actually did the work. You actually solved the mystery. You did the thing. And I loved your, that seems more heroic. I felt like that was a really good through line. Danny, I loved Hana's quips and you being like, I'm new here. I don't know what to do. And making, the jokes and the cracks. I felt like it added such a great dimension to the party dynamic. And of course, Aki as Nari, the face of the group, our fearless leader who is tired of our shit. But terrifying and beautiful in equal measure. Everyone was so great. And I think next to go is going to be Legal Kimchi.
Yep.
I'm sorry. When you just said that Transplanar RPG is like Lovecraft meets the L word, if that doesn't sell you on it, I don't even know what you're doing.
But a lot more diverse. We have two token queer people, two token white queers. That's what I mean. Not token queer people. Two token whites. We have two token white queers. And everyone else is a person of color. And we have 8 cast members. So,
oh my goodness.
Anyway.
That's fantastic. I'm Legal Kimchi. I run a YouTube channel where I do video essays pertaining to TTRPGs, history, and society. Kind of doing deep dives into those topics from more POC perspective, because a lot of white people doing video essays. So if you're like that, if you're into that sort of thing, researched video essays, check it out, youtube.com/legalkimchi. I'm in a couple of projects. I did Consultation and Elf and Orc Have a Baby, and its sequel, Elf and Orc Have a Little Baby 2. I'm working on something else that I don't know if I can talk about yet. But yeah, you can follow me at twitter.com/kimchi to figure out when that's actually released. My favorite part, man, that beginning in the kind of throne room type thing where the exorcism was happening and Stella, you did the voice mod. It was like it is on at that point. And it was just fantastic. I was just sucked in, and all the cast was so amazing. One of the problems with having such an amazing cast is I'm sitting here and I'm just engrossed watching you all, I was like, oh wait, crap, I'm in this party. And because it was just so entertaining to watch you all do your thing. So it was such an amazing experience. So happy that I got to be here. I think that moves on to Carrie.
It's me. Hello, I'm Miscellanea. You can call me Ms. or Carrie. I'm also on the Twitter. Wait, what was I doing? Right. Yeah. I mean, I have a couple of one-shots coming up, some spooky one-shots coming up in October that haven't been announced yet, but just keep an eye on the Twitter if you feel so inclined. The thing that I enjoyed the most about, I mean, we covered little babies. We covered, all right. I thought that Danny as Hannah's, the idea for the powder to throw it like a non-magical fairy fire was brilliant. And it was brilliant. I was like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? But it was so smart. It was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, there's so many others. A lot of them have been mentioned, but it's been so fun tonight. I'm really excited to get this book.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much. And last but certainly not least, we have Danny.
Gosh, hello, goodbye, I guess, actually. I'm Danny. You can find me on the internet at Bitterthorn on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and I also have a YouTube, funnily enough, where I've done like some like Jester cosplay music videos, which is really funny. So yeah, I just do cosplay right now. I'm doing a couple other things in the TTRPG, sphere that, I don't even really know what this is all going to, but I mean, it'll be fun. We'll just see what life happens. Life's weird, that's great. And my favorite, oh, actually, yes. And another thing is I will be at, what is it, Big Bad Con? If any of you are on the West Coast, going to that. I was one of the POC scholars for this, so really excited to get to like meet people and talk about cool game design stuff. Let's see, and then yeah, my favorite part of the game, I think, was when we first saw a glimpse of Nari, because I didn't entirely know who this character was going to be, but then when we saw how she was just like a total princess, Aki, you played it so well, and I was just like dying every single time you did anything. Just so much fun. Y'all just had such characters that came to life in my brain, so I just, I really want to like see more of them somehow, so hopefully in the future we can, see these characters. This is an incredible campaign setting, and I'm so excited for it.
It just naturally makes you want to explore more of it. There's just so much stuff in it, and it can go in any direction. It's so wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone who was here, that has supported all of the tweets, that has been supporting through chat, hanging out with us. Everyone that's checked out the Kickstarter, please do so if you haven't already. It is extremely awesome. And I'm Stella Luna. I'm a TTRPG producer and performer. I didn't forget to plug myself this time because I always forget. If you enjoyed the content that you saw here, please consider giving us a follow. That's a free way that you can support this channel and get notifications for when we go live. We try to run a lot of these events where we support marginalized creators and content, and that's just kind of like the vibe here. If you want to find out more information for any casting calls and other shows that we're going to be running, you can find all the information over at my Twitter. I am Stelluna TV over there. And again, please, please, please check out the Kickstarter. That's pretty much all I got. And I'm very, very happy and blessed that I got to hang out with all these lovely people. And like Kimchi said, a couple times I sat back and I was just like listening to them. I'm like, oh wait, I'm the DM. I need to say stuff. But I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Thank you so much for being here. Please take care of yourselves. Make sure you hydrate and eat your vitamins. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.